Welcome everyone to another edition of Play It Through, and on this edition it's EDS Mario Bros, brought to us by Googie. It's a ROM hack of the original Mario Bros. This is actually the fourth ROM hack by him I've actually done, including the Super Wario Brothers, Waluigi's Adventure, and Mario in Time It's Ticking. This is a rather simplistic 4-world Mario ROM hack, where you get to play though as Boo, which immediately caught my eye, and I like some of the other little changes here and there. And I love fun Mario ROM hacks, ones that are still very doable, and still fit within like the scope of what would be in a standard Mario game, instead of being the ones that are extremely, ridiculously difficult, like Kaizo style of Mario games. What's cool though is you actually, not only are playing as Boo, you can actually get a mushroom and turn it into Bullet Bill, and instead of Bullet Bills attacking you, you're actually being attacked by flying Marios. The story goes that the Grim Reaper has actually stolen Peach, and it actually ends up being the Grim Reaper from Kid Icarus. And you have to go through these worlds and try to eventually save Peach, which is kind of funny. And at the same time, basically, Bowser is convincing the Grim Reaper to repossess, like, Boo and take him back to the underworld, basically, because Boo is a ghost, so he's undead. So the Grim Reaper has been tasked with trying to stop Boo and take Boo back to the land of the non-living, I guess. Level number 2 is an underwater-themed level, the only one in the game, though a little bit difficult, mostly just due to the bloopers during a large portion of it. I also like it when in underwater-themed levels in Mario ROM hacks, and like you end up having an actual flagpole that you're able to pull down. The fact that we're a Boo, and then of course powering up to a Bullet Bill, you have no legs, so the sprite work is a little bit weird because of course it still acts like you do have legs, but I actually found the platforming in general to be rather enjoyable throughout this ROM hack. You can see the Busy Beetle has also been changed up to reflect later Mario titles instead of the one here, and there's more flying Marios coming our way as we get farther on into the stage. Here we can get a Fire Flower, so now you can see the full power of a Bullet Bill here, with not only is it a missile, a flying missile, but also now can throw fireballs at will at enemies. Level 1-4, the first of the castle-themed levels, drop down here, and we're going to hit this Parabeetle and knock it into the wall, and then make sure that we're able to jump over it before it ends up coming back towards us. Rather simplistic design, but you do have to wait like kind of right here for this flame to kind of rotate around enough so that you're able to land safely either on the middle platform and then go that way, or wait for it's over, and you can kind of run underneath or even do a big jump over all of it if you want to. At the end, we're going to use the Fire Flower to take out the Grim Reaper, and revealing that it was actually a fake Grim Reaper, it was a Goomba. And then we meet up with Toad, who informs us that the Grim Reaper has just snatched Peach. So onwards to World 2 and 2-1. Starting off with a Busy Beetle, and then a whole bunch of Piranha Plants throughout the course of this level. Piranha Plants can be a nuisance in any Mario, classic Mario ROM hack or Mario version of Mario, just due to accidentally clipping them when trying to do a lot of fast platforming if you don't take your time, which I usually don't like to do very much. Nice Goomba stuck there between those two walls, just eternally stuck there, unless unless you have mercy and want to put him out of his misery, I guess. (2-2) is another night-themed level, and you can see that they have kind of that snow-themed to the trees and the clouds is something I've always liked. And plenty of flying Marios. Now we get introduced to the flying Cheep Cheeps that are going to pop out all throughout this level. I'm a big fan of levels usually in Mario games where they have the Cheep Cheeps kind of coming up at you, but this one's a little bit more difficult just to the different styles of platforms instead of just like the normal bridge style to keep momentum going. But we do have one of those kind of levels a little bit later on pretty much. Kind of a fake out there with the staircase that ends up leading not to the flag when I end up getting hit barely on the edge here by this flying Cheep Cheep. Just clips me a little bit before I end up hitting the flagpole. (2-3) is the first of 3 underground levels, and not going to take the upwards path right away, though I will be using it later on just to help me get through some of the later levels here. Watch out for a group of piranha plants coming out of these pipes here, and we're going to use this top pipe though to get on up to the top and run our way along the ceiling throughout most of the rest of this level here. Doesn't take us too long though, of course, to reach the end and hitting the flagpole, moving on to the second castle of this ROM hack. 2-4, the next castle, similar as far as the overall look to the castle. Thankfully there's no maze-like castle levels in this ROM hack. Watch out for these 2 rotating flames. There is some power-ups though, before we end up making it to where we can see enemies stuck inside of walls. We get a couple of the parabeetles kind of stuck in walls here. Tricky part though, waiting for these flames to kind of go before making the jump here. We do have flying, I guess, fire? Questionable what's coming towards us at this point, but make it to the Grim Reaper and just do a big jump over and move on to World 3. World 3 starts off with a bridge-themed Cheep Cheep stage, one of my favorites, of course, and there are lots of Cheep Cheeps, of course, trying to jump up and get a hold of us as we're going to run our way through this. If you take your time, usually not too much of an issue, but I like to rush things a little bit too much sometimes, but we do end up making it through and move on to 3-2. (3-2) is similar to 2-1 that we did a little bit ago, where we had a lot of piranha plant pipes set up throughout the middle part of it, where you gotta kind of wait a few seconds sometimes before you're able to kind of jump on through that. Try to be as careful as possible getting past all of those nasty piranha plants. We make it here. We're going to jump up to the top. We have to make a nice little jump to make sure that we get far enough over the small pit there as we finish up the stage. (3-3) is another underground style of level, similar to the one we did just a little bit ago. In fact, we actually have 3-3 as an underground level, then the castle, and then 4-1 is the third underground themed stage. Just wait a little bit for some of the piranha plants as we get just a bit into the level. We make it here where we're able to use this block and we can kind of get up into that ceiling and run our way through the rest of the level here. Another thing I actually do enjoy with some ROM hacks is when you get to play as other characters, you know, changing up to Boo here, or the other ROM hacks I've done with Wario, Waluigi, and just some of the other as popular characters, or just side characters, or enemies even, and getting to do kind of a simple platformer with them is fun from time to time. Onwards to the third castle of the game. more rotating flames waiting for us right here, as we're gonna try to do that big, nice jump. I was able to get past both of them. Watch out for a jumping flame and a couple of lava pits, but relatively easy as long as you're able to kind of get past a lot of the rotating flames. It won't be long before we make it to the end, and once again jumping over the Grim Reaper, or in this case we're going to run underneath of them, because we gotta watch out for those hammers. I guess they're just regular hammers instead of like sickles coming out. But we're now moving on to the fourth and final world of EDS Mario Bros. 4-1 is another one of the underground-themed levels, and this one gives us an opportunity right at the very beginning to get above, so why not go ahead and do that and just gotta run our way through this. You get to see some of the design, plenty of piranha plants at the very beginning there, kind of grouped up. Kind of fun though to just be able to run across here. Thankfully none of the bullet bills, or in this case Marios, are able to kind of get up here in order to come at me head on. If they were able to, they may be able to catch you off guard once in a while. Whole bunch of piranha plants at the beginning here of 4-2, followed immediately by a bunch of question mark blocks if you want to get some coinage right there before more piranha plants end up joining into the battle. Just take my time a little bit over a lot of those pipes. And thankfully not too many of the bullet bills are coming my way, though I'm going to hit this block and get myself the fire flower ability once again. Just still cool seeing the bullet bill being able to fire out fireballs. -3 is another bridge-themed level with plenty of Cheep Cheeps trying to jump. This one's probably one of the more challenging levels overall in the game. Plenty of them are going to try to come up at us as we're running across a large amount of the bridges. Nothing overly tricky as far as a lot of the jumping goes. I try to keep my momentum going, but it doesn't pay off fully as I end up running directly into a Cheep Cheep there as finishing up the level and moving on to the final stage of the game. -4, the final castle here, and gonna watch out for plenty of rotating flames, as you probably guessed, as far as the design goes for a lot of the levels throughout this. Gonna stop here for a second, grab this mushroom, so at least we have our bullet bill form before heading farther on into the castle. Here's another little tricky spot. Wait for the flame to kind of go around just enough, and then we can kind of jump to a couple of those platforms back to back to continue on our way. Here I have to kind of wait for the flame coming my way with another rotating fire, and then finally Grim Reaper one last time. Wait for that right moment, run underneath, and finishing him off and enjoying the short ending here. Finding Peach, who informs us that that Bowser convinced the Grim Reaper to send you back to hell. Lol. Just great. Not my favorite ending to a ROM hack, but still great. So there you guys go. That is EDS Mario Bros. And that will wrap up this Play It Through. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course, I hope you enjoyed.